So it's amazing to me that sometimes people forget where they actually came from. And what I mean by that, so you haven't been a Christian your whole life. That's me. That's my story. I told a woman today that, in fact, my mom would never probably come to Triumph unless I'm preaching. My dad would probably never step foot in church unless I'm preaching or a gospel artist he want to hear is there. My dad's a Muslim. My mom's a Jehovah's Witness now. She both were raised as Christians. My whole life, my mom was a Christian, my dad was a Muslim. They lived together harmoniously. They gave me a lot of religious tolerance. And the reality is, I'm not ashamed of my parents whatsoever. In fact, I got siblings who probably don't have, they go to church probably whenever they want to, but they're not religious. They're not very religious. I got a brother who's a Jehovah's Witness, and I have no problem with it. My dad is still a Muslim. He still practices it. My mom converted over to Jehovah's Witness probably about 5, 6 years ago, probably longer than that. But I do remember 2 years ago, she actually got rebaptized as a Jehovah's Witness, and I was there to experience that moment. It was a great moment. And this was around the same time I was on my path to becoming a minister. So I say all that to say, I'm not one of those who grew up in the church. I wasn't going to Sunday school or being raised in the church and everything else. I really didn't find my grasp for church until probably around high school. I started going to different churches on my own, but really wasn't going faithfully every Sunday. Growing up, so my family, I went to mosque, I went to church, but it wasn't a thing that they pushed on us. It wasn't until I really got down to Tennessee State University, I started going to Friendship Missionary Baptist Church, where all my friends were going to Mount Zion Church, and I really just fell in love with the college ministry over at Friendship. And I say all this to say, I can understand why some people decide to go to church, decide not to go to church. And I can also understand why people decide to leave church, why people come to church, because I've been all around the world and been in those situations where sometimes you just need a little faith. You just need a little God. You just need something just to hold on to keep going. So I say all this to say, when you see me out, don't judge me. Don't think because I'm a minister now that you can't have a regular, everyday conversation with me. Because to be truth, I told this over at lunch on Friday with a mentor of mine that I'm the last person who's going to judge anyone. Because I don't care what you do. Because when we both get to them pearly gates in heaven, God is not going to ask me, what did you do to get into heaven? And God ain't going to ask you, what did I do to get into heaven or deserving to be in heaven? God already knows. So do what you do and have fun. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be the one to judge you. And I really don't care if you're judging me, if you're talking about me, if you think I'm this, if you think I'm that. That's all fine. Judge me all you want. But know that while you judging me, I'm up here trying to encourage people to get their lives right. I'm up here trying to be a staple for someone who's in need of some excitement, who in need of some encouragement, who need a word of wisdom. While you judging me, I'm out here trying to feed the homeless, trying to pray for the sick, trying to give people resources that they probably would not get otherwise. So continue to judge and think you doing something by trying to tear me down, you trying to tell about me and all that, because I'll be real. I'm not perfect. I'm a sinner. I'm a sinner every day of the week probably. And what I mean by that don't mean I'm sinning every single day. But in the eyes of everybody else, in the eyes of God, I know that I'm not perfect. I'm not trying to be biblically correct. And what I mean by that, I'm probably not going to talk and quote the Bible to you all day long. But what I can tell you is my story. What I can tell you is where I came from. What I can tell you is where I've been. But what I also can tell you is where I'm going because of the blood of Jesus that covers me. So I want you to understand this. Everybody has a story of their life. Everybody's going through something, and everybody's been through something. But God doesn't care about your past. He cares about where you are right now and what he's about to do for you going forward. So once you accept what you truly are doing in life, just imagine what you can do. God took a poor kid from the east side of Detroit, turned him into a minister, gave him a license. And on top of that, I've been able to enjoy the world. I've been able to sit here and tell people about my story of homelessness, joblessness, been able to tell people how I got over the grief of my brother, how I've been able to save lives, how I've been fighting PTSD, sleep apnea, and everything else. But the reality is I'm here to tell my story to someone else to encourage them. So understand, we all got something that we can feed back into the lives of others. So don't minimize your life or minimize your testimony to appease to someone else. Just be you.